Hi Julie, we're going to be moving on to lesson 12.4 today. Same topic, data displays and measures of center. The first page is grading your homework from 12.3. Our first numeracy problem for today is Denise answered 46 out of 50 questions correctly on a test. What percent of questions did she answer correctly? So you got to figure out how to set that up and solve it. Moving on to today's topic, we're going to be using histograms to show data. When there are large numbers of data values, it's helpful to group the data into intervals or sections. A histogram is a bar graph that shows the frequency of data intervals. Unlike a bar graph, though, there are no gaps in between the intervals on the histogram. So on page 667, we're going to look at a histogram for the ages of Best Actor winners between the year 1990 and 2009. The question is, how many winners were under the age of 40 years old? So we need to refer to the histogram to interpret the information. As you can see, they have the ages grouped off in 9-year intervals. And we got to look to see which intervals are under 40 years old. So we've got two intervals that are under 40 years old, 20 to 29 and 30 to 39. So the first question is, how many winners were 20 to 29 years old? And the answer is 1. Then we are moving on to the 30 to 39-year-old winners, and there are 6 people in that category. Now we need to find the total from both intervals. So we're going to add 1 plus 6, and we get the answer of 7. So there are 7 winners under the age of 40 years old. Now the question to the right says, can you figure out if any of the winners were 37 years old? And the answer is no, because the histogram doesn't show individual information, it just shows groups of information. Moving on to page 668, the table shows the ages of winners for the Academy Award for Best Actress from the years 1986 to 2009. So again, we want to know how many of those winners were under 40 years old. So this time they want us to make a histogram. We're going to use a frequency table using intervals of 10. So if you look at the best ages of Best Actress winners, when you look for the first interval, it's 20 to 29. So you have to go to the chart and cross off all of the people that are within that range, then add them up and put it underneath the 20 to 29 interval, and how many winners in that group is the frequencies. There are 7. Then you do the same thing for 30 to 39, cross off all the people in that age range, count them up, and put it under that interval in the frequency column. Continue doing this for all of the ages, and then your table is complete. Then on page 668, we can make our graph. Set up the age on the bottom with the intervals, frequency going up and down. Looks like they're going by 2s. The horizontal axis is the ages. And the vertical axis, the up and down, is the frequency. And then step 3 is to graph. Once you've collected all your information. And on page 668, you have to give the graph a title and label the axis. So the title, Ages of Best Actress Winners. The x-axis or the horizontal axis is age. The vertical or y-axis is frequency. So label those. And then to find the numbers, the winners under 40, we look at those first two intervals again. And we get 7 for 20 to 29, and 10 winners from 30 to 39. Add those together, and we get a total of 17 winners under the age of 40 years old. Now on page 669, we're going to do that again with a new set of data. I'm going to make a histogram. First, we have to complete the frequency table for the ages. So again, it looks like our intervals are 9 years, 10 to 19. So refer back to the chart, cross off all the people between 10 and 19, add them up, put them in the frequency column. Then go to 20 to 29. How many people between those ages? Cross them off, count them up, put them in the frequency column. Continue doing that for the rest of the ages. Then use that information to make your histogram. Label the intervals, then add in the frequency numbers, and then use the histogram to find the number of people who are 30 or older. So this time we're going to be looking at the last two intervals and adding them together. And the answer is 7. On page 6, (11) is a quick check. So use the histogram to determine the percent of the people at the health club who are 20 to 29 years old. This time, we need to add up all of the data points, which are 15 total, then look specifically at the 20 to 29-year-old grouping. There's 6 people in there, so it's 6 over 15. Divide that, and you get 40%. Here is our summary. The frequency table shows TV ratings for this show, American Singer. Complete the histogram for the data. So this one, they already have everything labeled out for you. You just have to transfer the information from the chart to the histogram and make your bar histogram graph. And then here's today's homework, pages 671 and 672, evens only. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.